Sarah Martinez stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror, watching as tiny sparks of blue electricity danced across her fingertips. At 16, she'd grown used to hiding these strange occurrences, but lately, they'd become harder to control. The lights in the house flickered, and she quickly clenched her fists, forcing the energy back inside. "Sarah! You'll be late for school," her mother called from downstairs. "Coming." She grabbed her backpack and hurried down, nearly running into her father who was absorbed in reading something on his tablet. "Sorry, Dad," she mumbled, but froze when she caught a glimpse of the screen. It showed a satellite image of what appeared to be an unidentified object entering Earth's atmosphere. Her father quickly turned off the device, but not before she noticed the government encryption marks in the corner. "Everything okay?" she asked, studying his face. "Just work stuff, honey." He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Have a good day at school." The drive to school was uneventful, but Sarah couldn't shake the feeling something was different today. The morning sky had an unusual purple tinge, and her skin tingled with static electricity. In physics class, all the instruments went haywire when she approached them, forcing her to partner with Jenny for their experiment. "Did you study for Martinez's test?" Jenny asked, adjusting their circuit board. "Yeah, but," Sarah stopped mid-sentence as every hair on her body stood on end. The classroom lights flickered violently, and their circuit board sparked and smoked. Other students gasped and backed away, but Sarah remained frozen, feeling a strange pull from somewhere above. The principal announced an early dismissal due to electrical issues, but Sarah knew better. Throughout the day, she'd caught glimpses of men in dark suits watching the school. They spoke into earpieces and carried devices that looked nothing like normal phones. That evening, Sarah pretended to go to bed early but stayed awake, watching the strange purple glow intensify outside her window. At midnight, she heard her parents speaking in hushed tones downstairs. "They're coming," her mother whispered. "We knew this day would arrive." "She's not ready," her father responded. "She doesn't understand who she is yet." Sarah's heart pounded. Carefully, she crept downstairs and found her parents in the study, surrounded by equipment she'd never seen before. Star charts covered the walls, and a strange device pulsed with the same blue energy that sometimes escaped from her fingers. "Mom? Dad?" Her voice quivered. They turned, startled, but not surprised. Her mother's eyes filled with tears as her father stepped forward. "Sarah, there's something we need to tell you." He gestured to a chair. 16 years ago, we were assigned to protect you. We're not just government scientists, we're part of a special division that monitors extraterrestrial activity." Sarah's mind reeled. "Assigned to protect me? What do you mean?" Before they could answer, a high-pitched tone filled the air. The strange device began pulsing rapidly, and through the window, Sarah saw a massive shape descending from the clouds. The purple glow intensified until it illuminated the entire neighborhood. Her father grabbed what looked like a weapon from his desk. "They're here earlier than expected. Sarah, whatever happens, remember we love you. Everything we've done was to keep you safe." The house trembled as something massive landed in their backyard. Sarah's fingers crackled with energy, but this time she didn't try to suppress it. Instead, she felt it building, responding to whatever was out there. Her mother grabbed her shoulders. "Sarah, listen carefully. You're not adopted from New Mexico like we told you. You're..." A brilliant light cut through the walls like they were paper. Sarah felt the energy inside her surge, and suddenly she was floating several inches off the ground, her whole body glowing with blue electricity. Through the light, she saw a tall, elegant figure step through what had been their solid wall. The being looked almost human, except for its silvery skin and eyes that glowed with the same blue energy that coursed through Sarah. When it spoke, its voice resonated directly in her mind. "Daughter," it said. "It's time." Sarah's world spun as everything she thought she knew crumbled around her. The energy inside her pulsed in recognition, and somewhere deep in her consciousness, memories began to stir, memories of another world, another life, and a destiny she never knew she had. Her adoptive parents moved to stand between her and the alien being, but Sarah already knew nothing would ever be the same. The truth of her existence, hidden for 16 years, was finally beginning to unravel. As the light engulfed them all, Sarah made a choice. Instead of fighting the energy within her, she embraced it. Blue electricity exploded from her hands, forming a protective shield around her parents. The alien being smiled, approval radiating from its ethereal form. The night sky above had turned completely purple, and Sarah could see more ships breaking through the clouds. Whatever was coming, whatever truth awaited her, she would face it head-on, not just for herself, but for both her Earth family and the heritage she was only beginning to discover. Her father's mysterious tablet lay forgotten on the floor, its screen still showing the satellite image from that morning. But now Sarah understood it wasn't just an unidentified object entering Earth's atmosphere. It was the beginning of her story, a story that would change not just her life, but the fate of two worlds. Sarah felt the world blur around her as the blue energy coursed through her body. Her protective shield still surrounded her parents, but the alien being, apparently her biological father, made no move to harm them. "The Guardians have done well protecting you," he said, his voice still resonating in her mind. But time grows short. The Drachnid faction approaches. Her mother, Guardian Mother, Sarah corrected herself, stepped forward. "Supreme Commander Zaren, we need more time. She's not ready for full integration." The name triggered something in Sarah's memory. Images flashed through her mind, a crystal city floating among purple clouds, beings of light moving through transparent corridors, and a terrible battle that lit up the alien sky. "What's happening to me?" Sarah gasped as more memories flooded in. "Your neural blocks are dissolving," Zaren explained. "They were necessary to protect you during your developmental years. You are Celestian, Sarah. Or rather, your true name is Sarah, Crown Princess of the Celestian Empire." The ground shook as more ships landed in their neighborhood. Sarah saw dozens of beings similar to Zaren emerging, securing the area. Their movements were precise, military. Her father, Guardian Father, activated some hidden panels in the study walls, revealing advanced technology. "The safehouse is compromised. We need to move." "Agreed," Zaren said. "The Drachnid already have agents on Earth. They've been searching for her since the day we hid her here." Sarah's head spun with questions. "Why did you leave me? Who are the Drachnid?" Zaren's expression darkened. "Your mother, the Empress, was assassinated during the coup attempt. The Drachnid, led by my brother Makai, believed Celestians should use their energy manipulation abilities to conquer other species, not protect them. I had to hide you, our future, until you were old enough to control your powers." More memories surfaced, her mother's face, glowing with silvery light, the feel of her embrace, the sound of explosions, being rushed through crystal corridors. "The adoption agency," Sarah whispered. "The one in New Mexico, it wasn't real, was it?" Her Guardian Mother shook her head. "We're part of an Earth organization called STAR, Special Terrestrial Alien Response. We've known about the Celestians for decades. They've secretly helped humanity advance, protecting us from hostile species." Suddenly, all the alien technology began pulsing red. Zaren's expression turned urgent. "Drachnid ships entering the atmosphere. We must move now." Sarah's Guardian Father grabbed a small crystal device. "The emergency bunker. It's shielded." They rushed to the basement as the house trembled. Sarah heard aircraft overhead, human military responding to the alien presence. Her fingers sparked with increasing intensity as her powers continued to awaken. In the basement, her guardian father pressed his hand against a seemingly normal wall. It shimmed and disappeared, revealing a high-tech facility. They hurried inside just as explosions rocked the neighborhood. "Your aunt and uncle are star agents too," her guardian mother explained as they rushed through the bunker. "That summer camp you went to? Training facility. Those headaches you used to get? Your powers trying to manifest." Sarah thought back to all the strange incidents in her life, electronics malfunctioning around her, the strange dreams, her instant understanding of complex physics. "Is that why I could always see the energy patterns? The flows of electricity and light? Celestians exist partially in higher dimensions," Zaran explained. "We can perceive and manipulate energy fields invisible to most species. But your abilities will be even stronger. You're the first Celestian born with integrated Earth DNA." They reached a large chamber filled with advanced equipment. Through the bunker's sensors, Sarah could see red dots approaching, Drachnid ships. But there were other ships too, engaging them in the skies above. "Earth's governments are responding," her guardian father said, monitoring the systems. "Star has activated all sleeper cells. We're initiating first contact protocols." "It's too soon," Zaran said grimly. "Makai forced our hand. He would rather expose both our species than let Sarah reach her full potential." Sarah watched the battle unfolding above through the bunker's displays. "Why? What's so special about me?" Zaran turned to her, his ethereal form pulsing with emotion. "Because, daughter, you are the bridge. The prophecies speak of one who would unite not just the Celestian factions, but forge true alliance between our peoples. Your very existence proves Celestians and humans can merge into something greater than either." More memories crystallized, ancient texts speaking of the bridge, her mother's determination to prove coexistence was possible, the hope she represented. The bunker shook as something massive impacted nearby. Through the sensors, Sarah saw a figure that made her blood run cold, a Celestian like her father, but corrupted, his energy signature a sickly red instead of blue. "Uncle Makai," she whispered, the knowledge surfacing from her unlocked memories. "We need to get her to the Celestian flagship," Zaran said urgently. "Once she fully awakens." The bunker's defenses screamed in warning. Sarah felt a massive energy surge approaching. Her guardian parents grabbed weapons while Zaran created an energy shield around them all. Sarah stood straighter, feeling power building inside her. She might not understand everything yet, but she knew one thing: she had two families now, and she would protect them both. The ceiling began to crack as red energy poured through. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and Sarah, Princess Sarah, stood at its center, her human heart and Celestian power combining into something entirely new. Sarah stood in the crystal training chamber aboard the Celestian flagship, her body glowing with intense blue energy. 2 weeks had passed since their escape from Earth, and her powers had grown exponentially. "Focus," Zaran instructed, generating multiple energy targets around her. "Feel the dimensional currents." Sarah closed her eyes, sensing the energy flows. With precise movements, she unleashed controlled bursts, hitting each target perfectly. The ship's crystal walls hummed in response to her power. "Your control is improving," her father noted. "But the Drachnid grow bolder. Yesterday's attack on the lunar base." "I should have been there," Sarah interrupted, blue sparks crackling around her fingers. Her guardian parents were helping coordinate Earth's defenses from that base. Though safe, the close call haunted her. A young Celestian entered the chamber, Kyr is, her combat instructor. "Princess, we've detected others like you." Sarah's heart raced. "Other hybrids?" 3, hidden on different continents. The Drachnid hunt them too. The revelation energized Sarah. During her training, she'd learned why she was unique. Her mother had discovered that human DNA could stabilize Celestian energy patterns, creating stronger abilities. But she'd assumed she was the only successful experiment. "Show me," she commanded, following KYRs to the command center. The ship's holographic displays showed 3 energy signatures pulsing with familiar blue light. Zaran studied the data. "They're awakening, responding to your presence. Makai will target them next." Sarah made a decision. "We're rescuing them. All of them." "It's too dangerous," Zaran protested. "You're not ready." Sarah's power flared, creating a stunning aurora around her. "I'm tired of hiding. These others, they're like me. Alone, confused, hunted. We protect our own, isn't that the Celestian way?" Her father's expression softened with pride. "You sound like your mother." The ship shuddered as they entered Earth's atmosphere. Sarah had mastered basic teleportation between decks, but planetary transport would be her biggest test yet. The first hybrid was in Brazil, a 19-year-old named Marcus. They found him fighting off Drachnid agents, his untrained powers creating chaos in downtown São Paulo. Sarah teleported directly into the fray, her shield deflecting enemy fire. "Marcus. We're here to help." The boy's eyes widened at seeing another like himself. His powers recognized hers, their energies harmonizing naturally. The second hybrid was easier, 15-year-old twins in Kenya, Amara and Jabari, already under star protection. Their powers had manifested together, creating a unique synthetic bond. As they rescued each hybrid, Sarah felt their combined powers growing stronger. They weren't just individuals anymore, they were becoming something greater, just as the prophecy predicted. But Makai was watching. As they approached the flagship with the twins, his forces struck. Red energy beams sliced through the clouds as Drachnid ships surrounded them. "Now, Sarah," her uncle's voice boomed across dimensions. "Watch your little hybrid collection burn." Sarah felt something snap inside her. The memories, the training, her human compassion and Celestian power, everything aligned perfectly. She reached out to the other hybrids, their energies connecting seamlessly. Together, they created something unprecedented, a fusion of human innovation and Celestian might. Their combined shield not only deflected the Drachnid assault but reflected it back, devastating Makai's fleet. "Impossible," her uncle's voice trembled. Sarah opened her eyes, which now glowed with pure white light. Through their connection, she felt the other hybrid's similar transformation. They weren't just the bridge anymore, they were the future of both species. "No, Uncle," she replied, her voice resonating across dimensions. "This is evolution." The awakening had truly begun. As Sarah looked at her fellow hybrids, she knew they were ready for what came next. The real war for Earth's future was about to begin, and this time, they would fight it together. Red energy bolts sliced through the London sky as Sarah and her hybrid team sprinted through the fog-shrouded streets. The Drachnid forces had launched a coordinated global assault, targeting major cities to draw them out. "Marcus, shield the civilians. Amara, Jabari, take the flanks." Sarah commanded, her powers connecting with theirs in perfect synchronization. They'd been training together for a month, learning to combine their unique abilities. Marcus generated an energy dome over a group of panicked tourists as a Drachnid ship strafed overhead. The twins moved in perfect harmony, creating an energy vortex that disrupted enemy sensors. Sarah's communicator crackled. "Princess, they've breached the lunar base defenses," KYRs reported. "Your guardian parents." "Send me the coordinates," Sarah interrupted, her power flaring. She'd mastered long-distance teleportation last week. The others could handle London. The lunar surface materialized around her. Through the base's shattered dome, she saw her guardian parents fighting alongside star agents, their advanced weapons barely holding back the Drachnid assault. Sarah unleashed a wave of pure energy, sweeping away the first wave of attackers. But something felt wrong. This attack was too obvious, 2. A trap, Machiai's voice echoed as red energy chains erupted from the lunar soil, binding her. Her uncle emerged from a dimensional portal, his corrupted form towering over her. So predictable, just like your mother. Sarah struggled against the bonds, but they seemed to drain her power. Through her hybrid link, she felt the others panic as similar attacks struck London. Your human side makes you weak, Machiai sneered. Always rushing to protect them, just as your mother did. Images flashed through Sarah's mind, her biological mother defending Earth from a Drachnid invasion, refusing to let them enslave humanity. The assassination hadn't been just about power, it was about Earth. Her guardian parents fought to reach her, but Drachnid forces held them back. Sarah saw the fear in their eyes, the same fear she'd seen 16 years ago when they first took her in, promising to protect her. Something shifted inside her. The human compassion that Machiai considered weakness merged with her celestian power. The dimensional currents themselves seemed to respond to her dual nature. My human side doesn't make me weak, Sarah said, her voice resonating across space. It makes me whole. The red chains shattered as Sarah accessed power beyond anything they'd seen. Through her hybrid link, she felt the others doing the same, their human and celestial natures finally in perfect balance. A blast of pure white energy erupted from her, transforming the battlefield. The other hybrids teleported in, their combined power creating something entirely new, a bridge between dimensions themselves. Machiai staggered back. What are you? We are the future, Sarah answered, the stars themselves seeming to pulse with her words. And the hunt is over. The final battle was about to begin, and this time, Sarah knew exactly who she was, not just Princess Sarah, not just Sarah Martinez, but both, and something more. The bridge between worlds had finally awakened. The final battle erupted across multiple dimensions as Sarah and her hybrid team faced Machiai's forces. Earth's skies blazed with ethereal light as celestial technology clashed with their combined powers. You can't protect both worlds, Machiai taunted, hurling red energy bolts that distorted space itself. Choose, Sarah. Your crown or your humanity. Sarah stood at the eye of the storm, her guardian and biological fathers fighting beside her. The other hybrids formed a perfect formation around them, their powers interconnected through the dimensional bridges they'd created. You never understood, Uncle, Sarah replied, weaving white energy through reality's fabric. It was never about choosing sides. Through their hybrid link, memories flowed, Marcus finding his strength in human determination, the twins discovering love's power, and Sarah herself, realizing her dual nature was a gift, not a burden. Machiai launched his final assault, tearing holes in spacetime. The Celestian Empire cannot be ruled by half-breeds. No, Sarah agreed, stepping forward. It should be ruled by understanding. She released her full power, but instead of attacking, she began healing the dimensional rifts. The other hybrids joined her, their combined abilities showing a new path, one of restoration rather than destruction. Celestian ships across Earth watched as their energy weapons transformed, responding to this new power. Even the corrupted red energy flowing through Machiai began to shift. What are you doing? He gasped, feeling his power changing. Creating balance, Sarah answered. Just as my mother envisioned. The transformation spread globally. Celestian technology merged harmoniously with Earth's infrastructure. The boundaries between worlds blurred not in conquest, but in cooperation. Machiai fell to his knees as the corruption left him. Your mother, she knew this would happen. She knew humanity's greatest strength, Sarah said, helping him up. The ability to change, to grow, to love beyond boundaries. The war ended not with destruction, but with evolution. Earth became the center of a new era as humans and Celestians learned from each other. The hybrid program expanded, creating more bridges between worlds. Sarah stood in the crystal throne room of the restored Celestian Empire, now relocated to Earth's orbit. Her two fathers beside her, her hybrid team around her, she realized her legacy wasn't about choosing between worlds, it was about bringing them together. The bridge had become a gateway to something greater than either civilization could have achieved alone. And Sarah Martinez, Princess Sarah, daughter of both worlds, would lead them into that future. The end.